Hello. Balloons. I like them. You get them for parties, and you get them at the circus and at carnivals. But are they always awesome? Not when they haunt you. I'm going to tell you a little story about something that happened to me several years ago. It hasn't happened in a long time. I would be fast asleep, happily sleeping, dreaming about whatever, and I would feel something. I would suddenly wake up because I knew there was something there. I would open my eyes and I would see a balloon, sometimes 2 or 3, floating really close in my face. I'd open my eyes and be like, whoa, and then they would drift off to the ceiling and vanish. Sometimes I would see them, and I would actually hear them bounce against my ceiling before they vanished. And I would turn on the light, and of course there'd be no balloon. I'm thinking, all the balloons that I popped in my lifetime have come back to haunt me. So that weird period in my life inspired me to write a story. A creepypasta, if you will. And if you don't know what a creepypasta is, I suggest you look it up. So here's a story I wrote. I was in a deep sleep, dreaming something wonderful. What about, I can't remember. I suddenly woke up like something startled me awake. I opened my eyes and saw a balloon floating directly above me, nearly touching my face. Before my brain could fully register it, it floated up into the ceiling, a faded ghost-like image, and vanished. This happened to me several times before, and each time it happened, I'd get a very uneasy feeling. I tried to disregard it. I tried not to dwell. Sometimes I would forget about it completely, till it happened again. I told my mom about the balloons one day. She didn't think much of it. She just shrugged and said they were dreams. I didn't really expect a different reaction. Saturday was the 4th of July. My family and I climb up onto the roof and watch the fireworks every year. Mom went up there early to set up blankets and stuff before it got dark. I was in the kitchen when I heard her call my name. I went out into the backyard and she asked me to come up and help her clean off the roof. When I got to the roof, my mouth fell open a little. There were dozens of balloon strings. Mom climbed down and went back into the house. "I'll be right back," she said. I couldn't stop staring at the strings. Then I noticed something. Some of the strings looked like letters. I swear they spelled "look under your bed." I laughed at myself for thinking something so stupid. Mom came back up with a trash bag and a broom. She swept them into a pile and I held the bag open for her while she dumped them in. After the fireworks display, snacks, and a couple of movies, it was really late and I was really tired. I dragged myself into my room and got into my pajamas. Just before climbing into bed, I remembered the message on the roof. I stared at my bed for a few minutes. Was there really something under there? I didn't want to check, but once I found out there was nothing there, I'd be able to sleep easier. I knelt down and pulled up the blanket. I found the usual stuff I kept under there. Boulders of pictures I drew, and a box of old letters and birthday cards. Well, that's that. Nothing to worry about. And yet, somehow I still felt uneasy. I looked again, pushing aside the folders. Nothing behind them. I pushed the box to the side, and was startled to see a pair of eyes looking back at me. They were bloodshot, and I swear they were surrounded by blue and white makeup. Almost like a clown. I jerked my head away and slammed it into the metal bed frame. I can dimly recall the world going black as I faded into unconsciousness. The next thing I was aware of was a voice speaking my name. I tried to open my eyes, but my lids felt so heavy. A hand brushed against my cheek. It was warm and comforting. I forced my eyes open. "Hi, sweetie," my mom said. Her voice seemed louder than usual, like she was talking in my ear. My head was throbbing. I blinked several times, trying to fight off my blurry vision. "Where am I?" I said in a weak voice. You're in the hospital. You were on your floor when I came in your room this morning. I tenderly touched my head with my fingertips and winced. I've got a really big bump, my mom said. What happened? I was looking for something under my bed, I said. I guess I bumped my head. She looked down at her watch. I have to get to work. I hope you feel better, honey. She bent down and kissed my forehead. Dad and I will be by to see you later. Maybe we'll bring you something from the gift shop. Balloons, maybe? Anything but that, I said. She chuckled. All right, how about a stuffed animal? She looked down at her watch again. Ugh, I really have to go. See you later. She turned and walked away from me, closing the door behind her. I felt cold and alone. I closed my eyes, wincing at the throbbing in the back of my head. I suddenly felt very uneasy. When I opened my eyes, I looked up and saw dozens of balloons floating around me. Get well soon, they said. The end. I can thank most of my stories for either weird dreams I've had or weird things that have happened to me. Thanks, Weird Life! If you liked this video, hit like. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. The eyes are watching.